The Plateau Pika, also known as the black-lipped pika, is a small mammal native to the high-altitude grasslands of the Tibetan Plateau in China, as well as parts of India and Nepal. These burrowing herbivores belong to the Ochotonidae family, which also includes other pika species found across Asia and North America. Unlike their mountain-dwelling relatives that prefer rocky habitats, plateau pikas thrive in open meadows and alpine steppes, where they play a crucial role in the ecosystem by aerating the soil and serving as prey for many predators. In some regions, they are also referred to as whistling hares due to their distinctive vocalizations, which they use to communicate with colony members and warn of approaching threats. Despite their small size, they are highly resilient animals adapted to the harsh conditions of the Tibetan Plateau, enduring freezing temperatures and limited oxygen at elevations above 3,000 meters. However, their populations have faced threats from habitat degradation and poisoning campaigns, as they are sometimes mistakenly viewed as agricultural pests. In reality, plateau pikas contribute to biodiversity by maintaining grassland health and providing food for species like foxes, birds of prey, and even the endangered snow leopard. The plateau pika is not currently listed as endangered, however, it faces certain threats to its population, particularly due to human activities. While their numbers are still considered stable, they are increasingly affected by habitat loss, poisoning campaigns, and climate change. In some regions of the Tibetan Plateau, plateau pikas are considered pests by farmers and herders because they graze on grasses that could otherwise be used for livestock. This has led to large-scale poisoning efforts aimed at controlling pika populations, which can significantly impact their numbers. Additionally, the expansion of agricultural land and infrastructure projects threatens their natural grassland habitats, reducing the availability of suitable living spaces. Climate change also poses a potential long-term threat, as shifting weather patterns may alter the availability of food or suitable habitats for plateau pikas. The warming of the Tibetan Plateau could lead to habitat fragmentation or a decrease in the types of vegetation they rely on for food. Despite these challenges, plateau pikas remain abundant in many areas and continue to play a crucial role in the ecosystem, so they are not yet classified as endangered. Conservation efforts focusing on sustainable land management and protecting their habitat could help ensure their continued survival. The plateau pika is a small, round-bodied mammal with a compact build that helps it conserve heat in the cold, high-altitude environments of the Tibetan Plateau. It has short limbs, a stout body, and no visible tail, giving it a distinct, almost hamster-like appearance. Its ears are small and rounded, covered in fur to provide insulation against the harsh alpine climate. Unlike some other pika species that prefer rocky terrain, the plateau pika is well adapted to open grasslands, with strong claws and sturdy limbs that allow it to dig extensive burrow networks. In terms of coloration, the plateau pika has a sandy brown to grayish coat, which provides excellent camouflage against the dry grasslands and soil of its habitat. Its fur is thicker in winter, becoming a paler shade to help blend in with the snow-covered ground, while in summer, it appears slightly darker and more golden brown. One of its distinguishing features is the black edging around its lips, which has led to its alternative name, the black-lipped pika. The plateau pika is relatively small, with an average body length of 15 to 20 centimeters. It typically weighs between 100 to 300 grams, with some variation depending on age, sex, and environmental conditions. Despite its small size, this species is highly resilient, capable of surviving in extreme temperatures and low oxygen conditions at elevations above 3,000 meters. Its compact, well-insulated body and efficient metabolism allow it to remain active throughout the year, even in freezing winter conditions. The plateau pika is a highly social and active species, known for its burrowing lifestyle, cooperative behaviors, and vocal communication. Unlike some pika species that are solitary, plateau pikas live in colonies, where they interact frequently with one another. Their burrow systems form complex underground networks, providing shelter from predators and harsh weather conditions. These burrows also benefit other animals, such as birds and small mammals, that use abandoned tunnels for nesting or protection. One of their most noticeable behaviors is their constant vigilance. Plateau pikas are diurnal, meaning they are active during the day, spending much of their time foraging for grasses, herbs, and other vegetation. While foraging, individuals frequently pause to scan their surroundings, standing on their hind legs to check for threats. If a predator is spotted, they emit a high-pitched alarm call, warning others in the colony to take cover in their burrows. This cooperative warning system helps reduce predation risks from animals like foxes, weasels, and birds of prey. Unlike some other pika species that hoard food for the winter, plateau pikas remain active year-round, foraging even in snow-covered landscapes. They do not hibernate but instead rely on their ability to dig through snow and access dried plant material left over from the warmer months. Their constant movement and digging also help aerate the soil, making them important for maintaining the health of their grassland ecosystems. During interactions with colony members, plateau pikas use vocalization to communicate, especially between mates or within family groups. They may also engage in playful chasing or mild skirmishes, particularly when establishing territory or dominance within their burrow systems. These behaviors highlight the complex social structure of plateau pikas and their crucial role in their alpine environment. Their vocalizations play a crucial role in social interactions, territory defense, and predator warnings. One of their most recognizable sounds is a high-pitched, whistling call, which they use as an alarm signal when they detect potential threats such as foxes, birds of prey, or humans. This sharp, piercing whistle can travel across long distances in the open grasslands, alerting nearby pikas to retreat quickly into their burrows. In addition to alarm calls, plateau pikas also produce short chirps and trills to communicate with each other, especially between mates or within family groups. These softer sounds are used for maintaining contact, coordinating activities, and expressing mild distress or agitation. During interactions, such as disputes over territory or burrow space, they may emit rapid, repetitive squeaks to assert dominance or warn others to stay away. Unlike some pika species that use long, melodic calls to establish territory, the plateau pika's vocalizations are generally shorter and more functional, focused on survival and social cohesion. Their ability to produce distinct calls allows them to thrive in the vast, open landscapes of the Tibetan Plateau, where visual communication alone would be insufficient due to tall grasses and frequent predators. The plateau pika is a herbivore, primarily feeding on a variety of grasses, herbs, and other alpine vegetation found in its high-altitude habitat. Living in the Tibetan Plateau's grasslands, these small mammals rely on plants that can survive the extreme cold, strong winds, and nutrient-poor soils of the region. Their diet consists mostly of sedges, forbs, and cushion plants, which provide the necessary nutrients and energy for their active lifestyle. During the warmer months, when plant growth is abundant, they spend much of their time foraging to maintain their energy levels. Unlike some pika species that store food for winter, plateau pikas remain active year-round, even in snow-covered conditions. In winter, they dig through the snow to reach dried grasses and roots buried beneath. They also take advantage of any exposed vegetation, making them opportunistic feeders that adjust their diet based on seasonal availability. Their ability to find food throughout the year is crucial, as they do not hibernate and must sustain themselves in freezing temperatures. Plateau pikas play an essential ecological role through their feeding habits. By grazing on grass and herbs, they help control plant growth and maintain healthy alpine meadows. Their foraging also contributes to soil aeration and seed dispersal, indirectly supporting plant regeneration. However, in some areas, they are mistakenly considered pests because their grazing can compete with livestock. Despite this perception, their feeding behavior is a natural part of the ecosystem, benefiting many other species that rely on open grasslands. The plateau pika has a high reproductive rate, which helps maintain its population despite being heavily preyed upon by various predators. Their breeding season typically occurs from April to August, coinciding with the warmer months when food is more abundant. Unlike some pika species that produce only 1 or 2 litters per year, plateau pikas have a rapid breeding cycle, allowing them to raise multiple litters within a single season. A female plateau pika can give birth to 3 to 5 litters per year, with each litter containing 4 to 6 pups on average. The gestation period is relatively short, lasting about 25 to 30 days, which enables them to reproduce quickly. Newborn pikas are born blind and hairless, relying entirely on their mother's care and milk for the first few weeks. However, they develop rapidly and are weaned within 20 to 25 days, after which they begin foraging alongside the adults. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for even more viewing pleasure. Don't forget, like and comment. Feel free to share.